здесь нет центра.
Центр.
Здесь хорошо.
Вот здесь центр. Правильно.
Это хорошо. Да. Спасибо.
Подождать надо.
Для меня это хорошо. Да.
Давай.
Спасибо.
Вот центр.
Спасибо. So I'm now in what's it called? I forget the name. I keep calling it Galobi, but it's not called Galobi. It's called something else. Gonio. It's called Gonio. And the guy was telling me there's no city centre here, which is interesting. So he's just sort of dropped me off right in the middle of town, and it's just houses. There's this interesting little spire there. Don't know what that's all about. But we did drive by the Roman fortress, and it looked pretty dope. A little too good, actually. Maybe they restored it. So I'm gonna walk around. Whew, I got my work cut out for me when I got to walk back to Batumi, because that's going to be a huge walk. I got no internet. I managed to download an offline map while I was at McDonald's. It cost me 50 lari to get here from the Macca's. So that 50 lari that I took out of the ATM went straight to that taxi. Not complaining, it definitely sped things up getting here, that's for sure. But man, is the walk going to be long. Just check this place out. It feels super Russian around here. Like, it's just got that super Russian vibe. The mountains are dope. The houses, some of the houses are in need of desperate repairs. Some houses are better than others. Seems like there's regular trash collection here. There's a new apartment building being built there. Actually, I should have disposed of my milkshake trash in that bin, actually, because I don't want to keep carrying this around. Now, I could be wrong, but this could be a giant zucchini plant. I'm not 100% sure. So I just realized that I was doing a time lapse instead of regular filming, so I kind of lost a little bit of the footage that I had there. But basically, this is Gonio? I hope I remember it this time. Gonio. This is Gonio. And yeah, there were some very nice houses here and there, and there's a lot of other houses that are in need of repair. To me, it feels very Russian around here. It's got that Russian vibe. Has that sort of Sydney outskirts vibe. Now this, believe it or not, is a bus stop. There's a couple of shops around here. A lot of trucks. Surprisingly, there's a couple of currency exchange shops. And I'm guessing there's a lot of English riding around this area, because this is one of the areas where maybe people from Turkey come in. A lot of people probably from the Middle East want to come through here. Just found a graveyard here. So the Roman fortress is literally just a couple of minutes ahead. So apparently my thing is running out of battery, even though my battery pack is about 90% full of energy. And that's a bit weird, because it makes it really hard to film if this thing is low on energy, so I might have to start using my camera, which is not what I wanted. But yeah, so that's annoying. But yeah, we're very close to the Turkish border, actually, because there's 2 more towns down from here that connect to the Turkish border. and that would be Fartierli. That's one town. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, Fariati. And the next town after that is Sarp. Literally, it's called Sarp. And Sarp is the town on the border with Turkey. So my GoPro ran out of battery, which is really annoying. So now I'm going to be using my phone. But yeah, oh, there's the Roman fortress right there. So we're going to, and I'm also just hanging out in this graveyard here actually. It's a very nice graveyard. So that's what we're going to do. I don't have a gimbal for my phone, so I'm literally just holding it horizontally. So yeah, no, this is a pretty dope graveyard. And there's a little rickety fence thing here that I'm going to traverse through. So we've made it to the Roman fortress. You see, it looks a little too good. That's what I'm saying. It just looks a little too good. So we're going to make our way inside and find out what it's like. What's going on? A bit aggressive for a car blockade, if you think about it. Statue of a Roman Emperor Hadrian. Is this an original statue? So I've made it here to the fortress, and it's really dope here. It's just being maintained as a beautiful garden in a historical kind of place. Look at this, there's even a door here. Fortunately, entry is prohibited. Now if we read that sign here, it says originally there were 22 towers, but now only 18 remain. Oh, there's actually a map here. There is a map here of the fortress. So unfortunately the plaque didn't tell me when this originally was built. It just, but from what I gather, it was built during the Roman times, and the Byzantine Empire, which I think was a splinter faction of the Roman Empire when it was fractured, then occupied this place. And then when the Ottomans were a thing, they also occupied this place until the Russians came. So this is cool. So this is a map of the fortress. This place is really old. And they got the Roman outfits. I wonder why the Romans decided to settle here of all places. Like, why this particular little spot? Gonio. From what I can see, a lot of this place has just been maintained over the centuries. Like, it's not recently refurbished per se, as far as I can tell. It's just kind of, wow, look at that. What's even supposed to be down there? I wonder if there was a platform here originally. Probably. But from what I am thinking, this place has been maintained over the 1,000 years since it's been around, or whatever. Thousands, should we say. And it's just been used as a place by the militaries for their own leisure. I wonder what the go is with this little spot here. Like a little protection shelter here for some reason. I can't tell why they would do that. It's an interesting wheel here. There's no plaques. Oh, imagine having to wear Roman armor and climb these stairs. I gather we can actually get up there. Clearly there must have been some buildings here once, because these must have been either some type of walls or foundations or something. Something's going on here. Oh. So if you're a Roman soldier and you are trying to, I don't know, go to battle, how are you supposed to climb up and down these walls? Like, were there any battles here? I don't know if there were any battles here. Whew, man, you gotta hold on to this thing. I wonder if they had any rail back then. Yeah. Bit slimy on the old wood. Whew. It costs 10 lari to get here, by the way. So basically peanuts. Oh man, you can't go over this way further. You can't climb the wall that way because it says stop, no entry, but you can climb up these stairs. Whoa, that is wobbly as hell. Check this out. I am no historian, but I do wonder what this was all about. Surely this must have been where they did something important. Sleep, garrison, who knows what. I guess this is an area where you can shoot arrows or whatever. I don't see it, like, maybe they knocked down the trees long ago. And they got all the big, you know, castle looking stuff here. I can see that they've made some repairs. Like, look at the cement. Some of the cement is clearly new. Maybe they're trying to preserve it, obviously. So, okay, now we've established that because there's new cement, they're clearly trying to preserve the place so that it doesn't fall apart. But it would seem to me that for the majority of this place, it is still original. It's just a big square. And look, there's all the old houses and stuff. Those are clearly the old foundations or whatever. Just like they find in England, you know, how they find those old houses. Oh, apparently on that plaque they were saying they found some gold or whatever. Turns out if you had some headsets, which I don't, I could ask, but the woman didn't seem like she was too interested in sharing. She's like, oh no, there's no information pamphlets here. Out of the one time I asked for an information pamphlet, they don't have one. So here is a plaque. It seems at the cell. I'll just take a picture of it, you can read it for yourself. So yeah, this place has been around in operation for nearly 2,000 years, in a sense. Like, you've got the Romans, the Byzantines, and then the Ottomans. And just excavating a bunch of hand mills or whatever, probably for the production of food, a child's burial, Roman coins and stuff being excavated around here. Makes you wonder if there's probably still more buried here that they haven't discovered yet. I guess you can see this was a busy place. It's hard to say, like, was this originally Roman? Or was this Byzantine? Or was this Ottoman? From what I'm thinking, it probably was Roman, because the plaque over there said that they found Roman and Byzantine stuff here from the 1st century AD. So that means the Romans were obviously here first doing their own thing. And then the Byzantine, which I don't know much about them, but they're probably a splinter faction of the Romans, were just prodding along here. And it seems that there's a lot more old buildings here too that they've excavated, and they've probably tried to preserve the old stuff by putting fresh cement in the cracks. So that's cool. And they found some wells or something here and there. That's clearly not ancient. So I wonder when this was a thing. It's a well. Yeah, that goes deep. That's deep. Makes me wonder if that was probably the more recent thing, like Ottoman or something. I wonder why they built that house there in that way. I wonder, surely that's not an original house. That's probably something that they built from the rubble, by the looks of it. They've used the original stones. And look at this, there's another old building here that's just gone to ruin. I'm not particularly the type of person who loves traveling. I'm not the type of person who loves kind of going out of my way to see places for no reason. But one of my biggest regrets not doing in Europe, when I was traveling Europe for a long time, is going out of my way to see the Roman stuff. Because come on, the Romans are cool. How come I didn't go out of my way to see the Roman stuff? Because the Romans were badasses. In Russia, I can't remember where this place is, but in Russia there is a place that looks, there's a place in Russia that reminds me of this. And it's for tourists. It's a tourist attraction with lots of different fantasies and cultures kind of colliding in one, different flavored restaurants. It's a very amusing kind of tourist attraction. And it had like skywalks and stuff. This place kind of reminds me of that a little bit. So if the Romans were here first, it's probably safe to say that the walls themselves were probably Roman. And if they were going to maintain this fortress for thousands of years, then they probably were doing maintenance themselves throughout those periods of time. And that's why this place is so well kept. Honestly, I was kind of expecting, I don't know, look at this, there's a lot more of these. I was kind of expecting this. I thought maybe there'd be a little bit more of the, you know, the ruined houses, like over near that fresh house. But there seems to be a lot of excavations here. I didn't expect there'd be this many excavations. This is cool. That's obviously Roman. I wonder why the walls are so well preserved in comparison to the original houses that used to be here. Like, why all these destroyed compared to the walls? My guess it's probably because the walls served as the military sort of thing. The military needs strong walls to protect themselves, and whoever came next, like the Ottomans, they probably just kept building new buildings to replace the old ones. That's my guess. Because obviously the military needs fresh stuff to keep them happy. And I guess they've excavated the old Roman stuff. I guess this makes sense. There's another staircase here. I might climb that. I kind of don't want to do that because it's kind of freaky to climb up those stairs, but I may as well since I'm here. Gotta ask yourself, what were the Romans thinking when you had to have knee-high stairs, like, and you're wearing that heavy leather armor and those steel-plated armor? What is the go with that? Maybe they're just very strong people. Ugh. Yep. They were probably having a blast up here. Question is, where did they go to the toilet? The walls are definitely a lot more doper than I expected. I didn't expect Roman architecture to look like this. can see they clearly were walking along the wall like no tomorrow. Oh, check out these original stairs. They just like, yep, let's put a stone there, and that's where we're going to put our foot. We'll put another stone here. Huh. Is this original Roman architecture? Design? I get it now. These are original artifacts. I don't know if these pots themselves are original, but it looks to me like, yeah, this is a museum. So they're using what appears to be replicas of original Roman pottery and tents and cooking stuffs and pots. So to me, I don't know if these are original, but if they're not original, they're definitely very good replicas. There's a sword or a spear. Roman spears or whatever. This is you know what that is. I was like looking from a distance and I was thinking, is this like Mongolian stuff? But no, it's Roman weaponry. So this place was probably heavily fortified. It's like no wonder this place is like got walls. You've got a catapult here with an actual rock inside of it. You've got crossbows with the giant spears that they shoot, and the Roman shields with the spikes. So it turns out, I just asked the guy, these are all just replicas. The original pieces that these are based on are in a museum now, but most of all these are just replicas. What they would have looked like, how they would have probably operated. My favorite one here is the crossbow, because come on, that's really cool. Imagine how many targets you could shoot with that. But seeing the amount of tents there does make me think about how many soldiers must have been here once. Like just the normal soldiers, if they've got normal tents. There must have been probably, I'm gonna guess, minimum 1,000, a few thousand soldiers here. Check this out. Climbing up these steep stairs without rail, it's gonna help me get back on the roof, I think. Man, these Romans clearly had strong stomachs because it's a bit of a fall down there. Maybe they had a floor here, but I don't know. Aurelius, sir, have you seen any Huns? Or have you seen any, what do you call them, barbarians? No, Cornelius, I've seen no barbarians, and I've seen no Huns. If you're English blood, you've got a little bit of Roman in you. You've got a little bit of that Italian in you, because if it wasn't for the Romans, there'd be no friggin' England, mate. So I think I have seen what I need to see here, because the rest of the fortress is going to be the same. It's just coming in and out of the towers, and so I might just walk through that shady walking path in the center, and I'll call it a day here. My next task is to head back to Batumi before 11, because I have a client that I need to speak with to help her save her relationship or whatever. Well, not save it, but she wants to avoid having her partner avoid her. So I'm giving her tips on how she can remedy the situation. It's just really dope to me that the Italians were here, the Romans were here, and it was so long ago. And to this day, what's crazy is that even though Georgia to me is Russia, even though a lot of people disagree with me, there's still a strong Russian dominance here and a strong Russian presence. And it's crazy that just several dozen kilometers away from here is the Middle East. So Turkey is predominantly Middle Eastern. And it's just crazy that we are so close to the Middle East. And it's so green here, like, it's so green. The weather here has been excellent throughout the whole summer. It hasn't reached higher than 30 Celsius all of the time. I've heard in other parts of Europe, including France and other places, it sometimes has reached up to 40, which is a very hot summer, but in Georgia, as far as I've been living here so far, maximum 30, and now that September's here, maximum 20. This is why I'm going through the center, because you get to see all of the old ruins, the excavations. There's probably another park out there somewhere. If they excavated this, it makes you wonder what's under that graph. Exhibition. This is Ottoman stuff. Imagine having to find the pieces for every one of these pots and assembling the pots. So that's really cool. They got in a museum full of the original artifacts that they found, including coins. I thought the coins were pretty cool. Glass artifacts. I thought that was really cool. Roman glass. The majority of the artifacts found and discovered so far seem to mostly be Roman. I wonder if they have wedding ceremonies over there, because that looks like a wedding spot to me. You're never going to find this anywhere else in the world. Roman themed toilets. Compared to a lot of places, this is actually extremely nice. One of the few buildings with a nice tile roof. No cement on the ridge capping, that's fine. Just laying there. I wonder what this place is about. Oh, I get it. It's probably showing you what it would have been like to enter into one of these Roman buildings, what it would have been like to walk inside. It's actually really cool. I'm glad I walked in here. Marcus Aurelius. Nice. Turns out there are weddings here. Quite a lot of them. So that is it for my journey in the Roman part of the south of Batumi. So come along for the ride with me back to Batumi.